morning. It's our first day here out in Banff. We just stepped out of our cabin, which is right behind me here. It's a little messy right now, so I won't show the inside of it, but it's quaint. It's equipped with a kitchen. This is part of a kind of a really big complex, as you can see behind me here. So we're just on the way to go get some breakfast right now. I think we're gonna keep it simple today and just maybe go get some McDonald's. It's already 11, so it's almost more like lunch. And then maybe we'll hang around this city center. It's very similar to Whistler in Vancouver. Just a bunch of shops, clothing stores, but pretty quaint. And then we're gonna head off on our adventure after our lunch. So we made it to the top of Mount Norquay. Just about to go take the Norquay chair, which is a chairlift, not a gondola, so it's open air. And we're gonna take it up to the top of the mountain to see that awesome view. So we just got on the chairlift, still relatively close to the ground, but soon, looks like we're gonna be going all the way up there. So we just came to part of an area where there's kind of like a sitting spot. There's some chairs set up just behind me, and you can take in this amazing view. All of Banff Town Center and the surrounding mountains and rivers that run through Banff. Day 2 here in Banff. We are starting our day with a trail. We're gonna go, what lake is this again? Or river? We're gonna go on the Bow River Trail, which is gonna lead us hopefully to a waterfall. As you can see behind me here is Bow River. The water is like turquoise, probably from minerals. Don't know if it's safe to drink, but definitely very beautiful. So we just reached the falls at Bow Falls. Gigantic waterfall behind me. Amazing video doesn't do it justice. The water is just so blue, and like to see it run down like that, it's beautiful. You understand why people paint natural scenery paintings all the time. So we made it to Sulphur Mountain after our lunch at Tony Roma's in downtown Banff. It was a very heavy lunch. I had a pork sandwich, which really makes me want to take a nap right now. But we're gonna go up on the gondola, the Banff gondola, and it's gonna take us all the way up there. So come on, let's go. So we're approaching the top of the gondola now. The view up here is just insane. It's so high, it's actually kind of scary, but definitely recommend if you're in town, if you're in Banff, you have to check this view out. Even if you go on the other gondolas or chairlifts around, this seems to be like one of the highest points, so you get such an amazing and clear view of Banff town center and everything around here. So we just left the boardwalk. We're heading down this path that leads us to the top over there. There's a little tower called Radio Tower that apparently takes about 20 minutes to walk to and has an even more incredible view than over at the boardwalk on top of the gondola station. So can't wait to get there. So we've made it almost all the way up to Radio Tower. As you can see behind me here, just downtown Banff. It is freezing cold up here. So we're on the top floor, the observation floor, and it's kind of like a lounge area. You see behind me there's some fires, some chairs, and of course, everyone's here for the view. We're actually gonna go back downstairs, see what other exhibits there are for us to check out. Apparently there's a movie about Banff that plays every half an hour, so we might go check that out if we have time. But if nothing else, we'll just head back down. So we just arrived at Lake Louise. This is day 3 of our trip in Banff. Pretty much our last day to do anything. It's so beautiful here. We're kind of walking on a trail that leads around Lake Louise just because the main area was just full of people and a lot of people weren't wearing their masks. So we thought it'd be safer to kind of go on the trail. You can rent canoes nearby. And it looks like people are still actually doing that today, even though it's raining. So we'll see if we might do that ourselves. So we made it to a viewpoint, but because of the amount of tourists around and it being really crowded, we decided not to stay too long. But we went a little bit off course. We discovered another area where you can see the same view without all the people. So yeah, if you go to the viewpoint, it's just a little further down. They say that they don't recommend people to go on this path because it's not nicely made, but it wasn't dangerous. And yeah, whew, what an amazing view. I also learned on one of the little display signs at the viewpoint that Lake Louise was Canada's very first national park. Pretty cool. So we made our way down from the viewpoint and now we're about to walk the Lakeshore Trail. Okay. So basically it's a trail that kind of spans the length of the lake. It doesn't actually loop around, but it does lead to other trails. I think that we'll probably go about halfway and then start heading back just because it is raining kind of hard now and we haven't had lunch yet. So yeah, it's kind of cool. We got to see the lake from above and now we'll be able to see it right beside us. So we're at the end of our path, our trail I should say, and there's this kind of beach area that we've decided to explore too. Usually it would probably be quite lovely, but right now it's very, very muddy. But we want to see that amazing view from the middle, so just gonna have to brave it. So we made it back to the beginning of the trail. As you can see, it's pouring outside. So I think we're gonna head back into Banff Town Center, go somewhere nice, warm and cozy, get some lunch, and then plan out what we're gonna do for the rest of the day. Hopefully something indoors because it is wet and cold. Today is our last day. We are heading back to Vancouver, but on the highway we ended up seeing a sign for the ice fields, so we thought it'd be a good chance to go and check them out. However, it wasn't until after we crossed the gate that we found out that's 130 kilometers in. It's kind of in between Banff and Jasper. So I'm not sure if we're gonna go and actually finish the entire drive down to the ice fields, but there are supposed to be a couple of glaciers along the way. Right behind me, we have seen our very first one. So hopefully we get to see a couple more before we make our way back home. Just kind of a random little stop on the side of the road. We discovered a little creek, and it's sandwiched between these beautiful mountains that you can see behind me. So we're just gonna take a quick little stop, check it out. So we just stopped on what looks like is going to be our final stop before we head back on the highway on our way back to Vancouver. Right now I'm just at this humongous lake right underneath what looks to be a glacier. This is probably one of the biggest lakes that we've seen after entering the path to Jasper, and this one is probably the most beautiful one of them all.